I don't feel that good today, but I've got a lot of stuff to do. Okay, let's just start with something really simple. Let's just start by having a shower. Having a shower and feeling clean, putting on clean clothes is one of the biggest things that has helped me during lockdown. It's helped me to feel a little bit more motivated, to feel like I'm in the zone to actually do stuff. So today I'm going to be talking about some of my favourite comfort foods, and unfortunately I got sick towards the end of filming, so let's just call this a part 1. So let's start with brownies. I put up a reel last week, so if you didn't see that, go and follow me on Instagram. But brownies are something that I just find really comforting. They're really simple, they're really easy to make, and truly delicious, especially when you make them squidgy and just full of flavour. So everything's going to be in the description, so don't worry about missing out on any measurements if you want to check these out. But I decided to make vanilla bean, coffee, liqueur and pecan brownies. I love coffee, as you guys know. I love pecans, and I think vanilla is one of the most underrated flavours. Everyone always says that vanilla is boring, but really, it's delicious. So the foundational things of these brownies are just flour, cocoa, soy milk, some melted chocolate that I'm putting in here. I use Tony Chocolonely because they are slave-free and ethical chocolate. You've got to be careful when you're using things like sugar and coffee and chocolate. You've got to make sure that it's fair trade and, as ethical as you can possibly find. So I would highly recommend Tony Chocolonely. And the coffee liqueur I was using is by Fair Drinks. And again, they're dedicated to ethical practices. So I put all the ingredients in a bowl, added some chopped pecans, and it's just such a simple recipe. And then I'm putting it in a pan. Obviously you can see I didn't put a sort of paper liner in, and this would prove to be a mistake, my friends. So I'm just topping it off with some pecans and then baking it in the oven. Unfortunately my oven was really hot and I didn't quite realise that it was so hot. So I did burn it just a little bit, but in the meantime I'm making a cup of coffee so that I can have a lovely cup with my coffee and pecan brownies. What a way to spend an afternoon. As you can see, the top layer was slightly burnt, so I ended up cutting this off, and this is what was left. They're not pretty, but they were delicious. Another comforting food, being very British, is some biscuits. So I wanted to have a go at making some vegan shortbread, and honestly I just put in some flour, some sugar, and I'm using a light olive oil. Of course you can use butter. I don't tend to like to use vegan butter too often because I just don't particularly like alternatives very much, so I thought I would use light olive oil instead. I use light so that it is not too strong a flavour. I also use some sunflower oil as well, just to again make the flavour a bit more neutral, but I'm sure you could use something else. I added in the vanilla bean after I turned it into a dough by accident. I should have put this in when I was mixing everything. So once you turn it into a really nice soft dough, I just put it in the fridge to cool down for about 30 minutes. I just put a bowl on top because I try not to use cling film, and after the 30 minutes we're just going to roll it out and shape it so that we can cook these vegan shortbread in the oven. It's honestly super easy. This is one of the easiest recipes I think I have ever made. The only difference is when you're doing these shaping, it's actually they're very crumbly so I found it quite difficult to then put them onto the tray. I was honestly surprised at how delicious they were. It's so important to let them cool down properly, otherwise they do just completely break apart. But I just put these all on a tray, on a reusable kind of mat as well, and I baked them for about 20 minutes, but I looked in every 5 minutes to check they weren't burning because of the incident with the brownies. So yeah, I just shoved these in and watched them like a hawk. I love biscuits. When I'm not feeling well or I want to be comforted, I always make myself a cup of tea and have a few biscuits. And shortbread are just, there's something really luxurious about them, even though they're so simple. But when you let them cool, I'd let them cool for a couple, 20 minutes, half an hour, even a couple of hours, and then enjoy it with a really nice cup of tea. Or if you're a coffee drinker, of course, you can have coffee. Or if you hate tea and coffee, you could have hot chocolate or whatever you want. For me, these drinks together are just incredibly comforting. Now, whenever I get a bit too in my head or my mental health is deteriorating a little bit, I always remember that I need to get out for a walk. So after I've had my cup of tea and my biscuits, I head out for a walk on the South Downs. I am incredibly lucky to be in the countryside right now, and it's been an absolute lifesaver during the pandemic. If you do like this video or you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up to help support my channel and this algorithm, and hit that subscribe and the notification bell so that you never miss another video. If you prefer shorter videos or you want to see more videos, then you can always follow me on Instagram as well, where I make quite a lot of reels now. So yeah, it's a nice short form video, but it's up to you. After I got back from my walk, I decided to do some journaling. I've been trying to do this every day again to promote some healthy mental health. So I did that for, half an hour, not too long, but something just to help get any thoughts or feelings I had out, and it's definitely been helping. Okay, so it's the next day, and I wanted to share with you a recipe that I've been trying out for a more decadent breakfast when I am trying to just feel a little bit more comforted, just have a little bit more warmth, like a warm hug. So I am making porridge. If you don't like porridge, then this might not be for you, but it's just a simple porridge with some oat milk, with some mixed spice. I love mixed spice. I actually just put this in my porridge every day, mostly because it tastes like a warm hug in a bowl. But today I'm making porridge with caramelized pears. So I'm also adding a banana into the porridge. I don't particularly love to add sugar. I prefer to get sugar to sweeten things with fruit. And I'm going to toast some almonds as well that we just had in the cupboard. My mum is quite into baking, so I'm really lucky that we have quite a few things like that in the cupboard. So I'm going to peel the pear. I don't usually do this, but we get some pears that just have a really scratchy outer surface. So yeah, I peeled that, and then once the almonds are toasted, I'm just going to put them on the side to chill out while we caramelize these delicious pears. So I thought I would try out this vegan butter because it's kind of a nice mix of oils. Usually I'm not a fan of vegetable oils, but this one's got I don't know, I just thought I would give it a go. But I added in another teaspoon of coconut oil just to give it a coconutty flavour. Then I added in some sugar. I prefer brown sugar, but all I had was white caster sugar. And then I'm adding the pears to the pan and let them sizzle away. I ended up chopping them into quarters because the pears were actually really big They're local UK pears and they're just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, a little big, so I cut them into quarters and I let them caramelize on each side for several minutes. And then I just added everything to a bowl. So I added my porridge first, which was so creamy because of the oat milk. Then I added my pieces of pear. I only ended up adding 3 pieces because it was such a big pear, and my mum had the third. I added a little bit of the sort of sugary, buttery sauce, then the toasted almonds, and just a really light drizzle of maple syrup. I never have maple syrup, so it feels like the most luxurious treat. And again, a warm bowl of something. I mean, usually we have caramelized pears as a kind of dessert with ice cream. So to have it on a bowl of porridge for breakfast with some maple syrup and all of these warm, delicious flavors just felt unbelievably comforting. So unfortunately I did get pretty sick, so I wasn't able to finish this video properly. But let's consider this as a part 1, and I'm going to make some comforting meals in my next one. And of course my mum's famous Welsh cake recipe as well, which I keep forgetting to do. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website just like I have done. Connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content, manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. You can display posts from your social profiles on your website and automatically push website content to your favorite social media channels so your followers can share it too. If you're interested, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/sustainablyvegan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you very, very soon.